All right, folks, I got another Boldin demonstration today. Two new features, great new features, game-changing new features. One is an AI assistant, and number two is guardrails, implementing guardrails to your retirement spending. Basically, if as your income grows, you can spend more, and as your your savings grows, you can spend more. If your savings goes down, you could spend less, automatically built into the Boldin software. So let's jump right into it. I'm going to share my screen. There we go. Hopefully you're looking at my screen now. Okay, what I'm going to do is a quick overview, very quick. I'm not going to demonstrate all the toys and tools of Boldin. I'm going to dive into the AI and the guardrail portions, but I think you need to understand the accounts first. Okay, first of all, this person has a Monte Carlo score of 73. Not stellar, but remember, 73% means no interventions. No interventions for my 30-year retirement. Okay, so let's look at accounts. They've got 1.4 million, 1.1 in a traditional IRA, 100,000 in a Roth, 20,000 in checking, and then they got in a Fidelity account, got some bucket one money, $200,000. Let's say that's in some kind of bonds or money market fund, bucket one kind of stuff. But yeah, home, real estate, no debt there. $500,000 home in Indiana, no debt. Income, basically Social Security, is all these two are retired. Let's call them Joe and Lisa. That's my wife's name. Start collecting here at 67, spouse at 67. Expenses, okay. Base level spending, 5,000 a month. That goes through the lifetime. Go spending. You know how I like having this in there. An extra $1,500 a month. That's $18,000 a year until they're both 75. Slow go spending lasts from 75 to 80. That's $1,000 a month. And those you can put in whatever you want. One-time expenses. I see this missing so much. A lot of people, when they're doing their planning, they use the 4% rule. Nobody spends that way. So here, this couple, Joe and Lisa, have a Europe trip planned in 2028. Kids' wedding, $40,000, a car, a kitchen remodel, a new roof, and another car replacement later on. So this is what we call life. Okay. Medical expenses, they got in, medical for myself and my spouse. That's using my Indiana Farm Bureau, currently paying about $1,400 a month for Lisa and I. So those are real numbers. So those are expenses. One-time spending, medical. Yeah, got it all. Money flows. I don't have any Roth conversions, anything like that in there. So you've got this family of Joe and Lisa with $1.4 million, planning on taking Social Security at 67. That's what they got. Okay. And that comes with a Monte Carlo score of 73. Well, let's go over to the top right here, and you could see an AI assistant. Click on it. Okay, I've got to get a new conversation going because I was playing with it. So you hit AI assistant, this thing that looks like a couple stars here in the sky, and it has 6 questions here, common questions, or you can ask your own down here. Okay, how can I increase my plan's chance of success? Well, let's click on that. AI is analyzing the plan. Based on your current Monte Carlo score, it's giving all these answers. Let's wait till it stops. This is just like asking ChatGPT, but it's customized to the Boldin model here. You can optimize your Social Security timing. Okay, this says move it out to 70. Okay, is what it says. There's also a Roth Explorer for taxes. There's a Social Security Explorer to optimize here. So if you want to go directly to the Social Security Explorer, you hit this button right here. So they're saying, hey, you can improve that by going to Social Security and up in that to 70. And that takes this, I did this, from 73 to 75. Review one-time large expenses. Man, you got a lot of large expenses kind of front-loaded here, in the next few years. Is there any way you can spread that out a little bit? Uh, Overlapping expenses, it does note this, and it says, hey, you got base level spending, go-go, and slow-go spending overlapping, and they should. Okay, so that's all fine. Then it says, hey, man, you really need to look at Roth conversions to minimize taxes. Comes right out and tells you that. You don't have to know that. The software tells you there's an opportunity there. Okay, so then let's go to a new conversation. Okay, what's incomplete in my plan? What did what blanks did I have? Okay, I didn't put anything under estate planning. Still kicking out information here. Estate planning, I didn't do Social Security optimization, overlapping expenses, withdrawal. You can vary your withdrawal strategy. You can take it out the traditional way of using your taxable first, or you can take money from your IRA first. You can do it in whatever order you want and customize it. Huge feature here. Simple and free software packages don't have that option. And a financial legacy goal. Those are some things that are missing, but I'm fine with that right now. What is my withdrawal rate? Okay, some people want to calculate this, and this is going to come back and say, hey, wait a second here. Hey, Joe, you're taking out your average retirement withdrawal rate is 5.88%, which sounds kind of high. But there's a lot of, variability in there. You got some 15% years in there when you're pulling out, a lot. Talks about sustainability, 4% rule, and 5.88 is slightly higher, but says we won't run out. How to manage your withdrawal rate. Okay, different options there. Let's go. These are automatic AI. Would Roth conversions be beneficial? So you click on that one. It's basically going to say, yes, you have a tax window. And what's important, I think it says it here in here somewhere, but your tax window, if you push Social Security out to 70, you have more opportunities because you're going to lower your income. You have more opportunity to do Roth conversions and stay in lower brackets because you don't have that income. That's one of the things that's so important about comprehensive software packages beyond rules of thumb and spreadsheets. Everything is connected to each other. Social Security timing affects your taxes, okay? And not only, is reliable income that you're getting, but it affects your ability to do something like Roth conversions. So, when can I afford to retire is another question. I'm showing in this, I'm already retired, but say I was 5 years from retirement, it'll give me, an estimate of when I can afford to retire and how much can I spend in retirement. Such a cool tool automatically built in here. So let's go back. That's the AI tool. Fantastic. It's only going to get better from here. So AI analyzing your comprehensive software package here just to make sure that you didn't make a mistake and you're capitalizing on everything you can. So let's look at guardrails. Here's another spending guardrails. This is all based on the data that I input. It says, hey, here's my savings balance. Here's the safe spending amount and my planned spend. The safe spending targets an 80% probability of success, so 80%. And so, it shows, hey, if your savings do grow to 1.88 million, you can increase your spending from 58.62 a month to 73.28 a month. If savings fall to 128, you have to decrease a little bit. So these are some spending guardrails that Boldin automatically puts in the system for you to, if you get stressed when the market pulls back 30%, you're naturally going to pull back your spending. This tells you how much to pull back to till things recover. So you got these little guardrails. And when you use guardrails, the data shows that you can go far beyond the 4% rule. The 4% rule is the ultra conservative, take no actions solution, and nobody spends that way. You have one-time events, and then you also have the market ups and downs that are going to have you want to pull back a little bit. So The guardrails is a fascinating feature. I can't go into all the explanation of it, but man, I am super impressed with the two changes that I've put in Boldin so far. I'm going to stop sharing here and just talk. Hey, Boldin versus spreadsheets, folks. I've been on a stump preaching this for some years. I had spreadsheets. I retired on spreadsheets. And what I was doing versus what Boldin is doing is night and day. I found Boldin about 6 months after I retired. And I've been a client. I've been paying ever since. The graphics are so much better. I have the whole team of Boldin behind me, making sure everything's current and they're adding new features versus me stressing about my spreadsheets. By the way, I still maintain a spreadsheet. That's how I manage my buckets a little independently. I like having my own design there for a little bit, but I rely on Boldin so much more. But just this last, the month of January here, I'm doing my deep dive into my finances once every 6 months. I found a cell error. I found a cell error inside of my spreadsheet. Wasn't dramatic, but it had my net worth off by about $400,000. I love how visual it is. And folks, you got to understand that retiring is much more complicated than saving. You've saved on your own. You've used your own spreadsheets. It's actually very simple to save if you got the discipline to do that. Making all the complex decisions for retirement, timing of Social Security, what rates of return you put in, what you do to protect against sequence of return risk, Monte Carlo simulations, how to manage taxes. All those things are huge, and they all connect to each other. I love this Boldin. I think it's a steal. I think it's $140 a year. If you're a DIYer, I think it is an essential tool. If you have a financial advisor, I think it is an exceptional tool. For $140, you can do significant pre-work and make your certified financial planner earn his money even more because you have all the trivial basics out of the way. They're all the simple decisions that, like, hey, I'm taking Social Security at 70 or 67, and here's why. Here's the Roth conversions I want to do. I understand how those all connect to each other. I understand how I need to watch inflation, what rates of return. I understand sequence of return risk, and I got a plan for that. All that's out of the way, and then you walk in for your quarterly meeting with them and have a much higher level of conversation with them about advanced things that they can provide for you. $140. Look at what you're paying your certified financial planner and compare that to $140. I think it's a steal. So, hey, I got a link to a free 2 weeks. Check it out. I'm obviously a massive fan, and give me feedback on your Boldin. I have about a quarterly meeting with the team there around what my audience is saying and what they're asking for. Things like guardrails was one that this team asked for. The AI, they had that, but they've expanded it greatly. So your feedback matters. I do have a direct link to the leadership team there. So let me know. It's Joe out.